We have many Muslim youths today who love to be fashionable. It was exactly the same at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even then there were young individuals, young Sahaba, young Sahabiya who used to do a lot of fashion. One such example was Hazrat Khuraym Al-Asadi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He was one of the most fashionable individuals in all of Arabia. His hair was long and he would often take very good care of it. I'm sure many of you, or perhaps you yourself, are an individual, especially men nowadays, boys, teenagers nowadays, who spend hours on end, and I'm not exaggerating, hours in a day just looking after their hair, making sure the fade is up to point, ensuring that, every little thing from the tip of their beard to the tip of their hair on the left and the right side is exactly evened out to be as fashionable as presentable. Hazrat Khuraym was as such. And he wore the newest of the newest clothing. And he wasn't afraid to flaunt his clothing. He had money and he wasn't afraid to show it. And even so, the way he showed it was, and the way they used to show their fashion was, they used to allow their dress to drag on the ground behind them. The more fashionable individual, the richer the individual, the longer it would be and the more it would drag on the ground. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he hears about this, that one of his Sahabis, Hazrat Khuraym Al-Asadi, a very great individual, very fashionable. And he hears, but I've heard that Khuraym Al-Asadi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu is such a great Muslim. He's a pillar of Islam. He's one of the premier citizens of Islam. He has Iman in his heart. How great would it be that he would trim his hair to his ears? And how great would it be that he would pull his izar, he would pull his garments up to his ankles, and even better to his calves. The Sahaba, they hear this, they go running to Khuraym Al-Asadi. Khuraym, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has praised you today. He has called you an individual of great stature, a pillar of Islam. However, he had two suggestions for you. Cut your hair up to your ears, just like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and pull up your garments to your ankles and to the middle of your calves. Khuraym hears this, immediately goes home, pulls up his garments to where half of his calves are showing, and cuts his hair up to his ears. The Sahaba Ikram, they say, until the final days of him on this earth, we never saw Khuraym with long hair after that. We never saw his clothes drag on the ground after that. This was the Iman of the Sahaba Ikram. That once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had said it, that's it. He had said it. Once his Sahabi, he comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he was wearing a gold ring. He comes to say salam, and one of the ways Rasulullah would exhibit his anger is he would just turn. He would turn away. So he would come from the left, Rasulullah turned to the right. The Sahabi, he came from the right, Rasulullah turned to the left. He realized Rasulullah is mad. So he goes asking the other companions, why is Rasulullah mad? Why is Rasulullah mad? The companions take a look at his hands and they notice a gold finger. They say, "O companion, haven't you heard? Gold has been declared haram for a Muslim man to wear." So the Sahabi, he takes off that ring, throws it on the ground. Then he goes to Rasulullah. Then he says, "Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah." Now Rasulullah smiles at him and says, "Wa alaikum assalam, O my companion." As he's about to leave, some of the companions say, "O companion, you're forgetting your gold ring here, the one that you threw on the ground." The companion says, "Rasulullah did not say salam to me because of that ring. That ring I do not care about. How can I ever even look at the ring that caused Rasulullah to be angry with me?" My dear brothers, this is the state our Iman should be. If Rasulullah had said it, that's it. That is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the motivation to have the same amount of Iman as these amazing companions of old. Ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.